Welcome to The Explainer. Have you ever been flipping through channels late at night and noticed something kind of weird? It seems like every TV station, whether it's news or entertainment, is suddenly in the business of selling vitamins and health supplements. Today, we're going to break down exactly why that is.
So, what is going on here? This isn't just some random coincidence. It's actually a fascinating story about a massive shift in economics and technology, and maybe most importantly, it's about one of the oldest and most powerful assets in the media world: trust. To really get it, we first have to take a look at how TV used to make all its money.
For decades, television was the absolute king of advertising. If you wanted to build a brand, TV was the only game in town. It was the place to be. But then the internet happened, and that whole empire, well, it started to crumble.
The last decade has been nothing short of a revolution. I mean, at the beginning of the 2010s, TV ads were still the gold standard. But by the middle of the decade, you had these new giants, Google and Facebook, show up, and they offered advertisers something TV just couldn't compete with: pinpoint accuracy. So ad budgets made this huge pivot to digital, leaving traditional TV networks scrambling to find a new way to pay the bills.
The difference in efficiency is it's stark. Think of a TV ad like a giant megaphone. You're just shouting a message to a massive crowd and hoping the right people are listening. Digital ads, on the other hand, are like a whisper directly into the ear of the perfect customer. So for advertisers, the choice became a no-brainer. This forced TV stations to ask a really tough question. If we can't sell other people's stuff anymore, what can we sell ourselves? So, with ad revenue just taking a nosedive, TV networks had to become direct sellers. But out of all the possible products in the entire world, why did so many of them land on vitamins and health supplements? Well, the answer is in a classic economic theory. It's this concept called a lemon market. It's a situation where you, the buyer, can't easily tell if what you're buying is high quality or if it's junk, a lemon. And health supplements, they are the absolute ultimate lemon market product. I mean, you can read the label, sure, but can you really verify the quality of those ingredients or what they'll actually do for your body? For most of us, it's pretty much impossible. And this is exactly why supplements are the perfect product for a TV station to sell. The effects aren't immediate. The ingredients sound all complicated and scientific, and the entire decision to buy hinges almost completely on trust. And here's the real kicker. The core audience for traditional TV and the core audience for health supplements, middle-aged and older viewers, it's a perfect overlap.
Oh, and let's talk about the motivation, shall we? Just look at this breakdown. A staggering 40% of the price tag can be pure profit. When your old business model is dying on the vine, a 40% profit margin on a new one looks incredibly attractive.
Okay, so we've got a motive that ad revenue is disappearing, and we've got the perfect product. But what gives the TV station this unique power to succeed in such a tricky lemon market? What's their secret weapon?
It turns out their most valuable asset isn't their fancy studios or their broadcast towers. It's something invisible. It's something they've built up over decades of being a guest in people's living rooms, night after night. It's trust capital. This quote from the source material just nails it. In a market that is flooded with uncertainty and all these confusing claims, the TV station steps in and basically acts as a guarantor. They are, in effect, lending decades of their hard-earned credibility to a bottle of pills. And this is the key to why it works so well. They aren't just selling you a product, they're selling you a shortcut. A shortcut through the maze of endless online reviews and conflicting articles. They're selling you an end to the anxiety of making the wrong choice. They are selling you certainty.
Okay, so how do they actually turn this abstract idea of trust into a repeatable, money-making strategy? Well, let's break down the playbook that we're all seeing play out on our screens every day.
This is the formula, and it's an absolute masterclass in narrative selling. Notice it's not a hard sell, is it? It's a story. It starts with a problem you can relate to. It builds empathy. It brings in an authority figure like a doctor to explain the why, presents the product as the hero of the story, and then closes with a powerful success story. It feels way less like an ad and way more like helpful advice from a trusted friend. They also use really smart pricing. By offering these discounts on bulk purchases, they encourage you to place a larger order. The 3-box package is often the sweet spot, right? It's a big enough commitment that you feel like you'll see results, and the discount feels pretty substantial. It locks you in as a customer for months. And believe me, they maximize this model at every single turn.
A lot of stations create their own in-house brands, so they get to keep that entire 40% profit margin. They lean on the incredible loyalty of their viewers. We're talking people who have watched the same channel for years. And maybe best of all, they turn a liability, all those empty ad slots, into their biggest asset by advertising their own products for free.
So what does this all mean for the future? Is this just a clever business trick? Or is this a sign of a really fundamental shift in how the media actually works?
At its very core, this is a story about asset reallocation. TV stations looked at their business and had this big realization. Their most powerful asset was no longer their broadcast signal, it was their decades of accumulated public trust. And they found a brilliant way to convert that trust directly into cash. But before we wrap up, there's a really important counterargument to think about. The term lemon market kind of implies that sellers are deliberately holding back information. But what if regulations are actually preventing them from sharing more? You see, the regulations here are incredibly strict. A company absolutely cannot claim their supplement cures anything. This means that information gap we talked about might not be a sales tactic at all, but a direct result of legal restrictions. The TV stations might be telling you literally everything they are legally allowed to, and then using stories and testimonials to communicate the benefits they can't state directly. The key takeaway here is really all about adaptation. For these old media giants to survive in a digital world, they can't just keep doing what they've always done. They have to look inward, identify their most unique and valuable assets, even the intangible ones like trust, and then find creative new ways to leverage them.
And that leaves us with a final, really fascinating question. If TV stations can convert their trust into vitamin sales, what's next? Could newspapers leverage their credibility to sell financial services? Could legacy radio brands do the same thing for travel packages? This isn't just the future of media. This might just be the future of commerce itself.